Jesus fucking Christ. I woke up, I saw this post in Discord I'm in, and I make a video on this, because obviously I'm more of a lore guy, in the sense that I think, because I write MK stories, the story stuff is more important to me than the gameplay. Not that I don't enjoy the games, just there's good MK games already. The game would be fucking dog shit. That's whatever. But the story, this is where it gets real bad. And I had my concerns for a reboot because we didn't need another one, and I had a lot of concerns on what this would be, and this is the worst case scenario. Like every time I predict NRS gonna do this shitty thing, they always do something even worse, and my standards for NRS are as low as can possibly be. It is impressive. It is really impressive, and the reason I was so annoyed by this is, we'll get into it. For the characters we've had confirmed, we have, I guess these are going to be their bios. I don't know the context of these. They're very legit. This is what the character stories are. So first you got Kitana, Princess of Outworld, not Adenia. Adenia's not actually back. They just decide to theme a stage, make it seem like Adenia, but Adenia's not actually fucking back. That was the one thing I was looking forward to. This all means the Living Forest stage makes no sense now, because it has like a night variant, and the expectations they get angry at night. What the fuck is this? Five Nights at Freddy's? Fuck off. That's not how that works. I thought, and well, I gave him too much credit. I saw the Living Forest stage, all the trees all nice. I'm like, oh my god, it's because they brought Adenia back. So it's the Jolly Forest from the MK4 prequel comics. But boy, no one at NRS has read the fucking comics, have they? So no, that's not what it is. Oh my god. So anyway, Kitana has one purpose in life: to aid and protect her older sister Mileena as she prepares to rule Outworld one day. You'll notice these character backstories, these goals for characters, they're really generic and they're really simple. They have not only just completely retconned everyone, and I mean literally everyone here has been retconned, and I imagine that's going to be a pattern throughout. I don't think there's going to be any character with the same lore as previous timelines. And we complain about the Slevendale retcon, amongst other retcons MK11 did, but this is just fucking absurd now. This is awful. And about Sindel, just doing this old timey our royalty leadership shit, and also in a trade time actually if Mileena's disease becomes known, she'll be banished. Fucking hell. This suggests to me that Sindel is just evil. I think she's still evil, even though she's the actual mother of these two. So, yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. I definitely have fixed her. I think they are just doubling down on evil Sindel. Although I don't know, because we see in the background one stage, we don't see Jared or Shao Kahn. Oh god. Oh, I hope. I don't know anymore, because they don't state who the rulers are, but Sindel's obviously one of them. I don't know who her husband is in this scenario. God, I hope it's Jared. Please. Oh, it doesn't matter anyway, because they're ruling the wrong realm. It's Outworld, not Dania. So yeah, the steady-handed Kitana ignores the calls of those who advocate that she should replace her impulsive sisters there. So, it's like, oh, this is nice, Kitana cares about her sister. Fucking finally. But no, because you've got it well, Mileena's still a shitty person. Impulsive. Why are we doing this? If you're going to fucking completely rework every character, why are we still doing this as Mileena's character? Please tell me. Please tell me what we gain from Mileena being the same character she has been since the 90s. She is not developed at all. It is pathetic. Instead, Kitana will defend the realm by fighting to make Mileena the best empress possible. which is nice. But again, that's literally her whole character now. It's just Mileena, she gonna be good ruler. I'm loyal to Mileena. That's her entire character now. So not even I can like this. And I wanted them to make peace for ages. Not that the peace will last anyway, because we'll get to Mileena. But yeah, she will also fight to hide the dark secret Genesis' reign before it begins. Fuck off. Let's look at that dark secret, shall we? Mileena, heir to Outworld's throne, born mere seconds but ahead of her twin sister. That's so goofy. Also, yeah, they're just twins now. That's the new story, the new backstory that Ed Boon said was objectively better than the original stories, and we just need to give it a few years and we'll get used to it. Apparently, that's what he said. Which, no, because all these changes are changes to backstories that didn't need changing. Mileena, I think her character is terrible, but the one thing you didn't have to change was her backstory, being the flesh fits cone. Problem is, because Shao Kahn's just ignored, I guess, in this timeline, which would make sense on one hand, because Liu Kang's in charge. Like if you're going to make a new timeline, I think the first guy to get rid of is Shao Kahn. But there's also rumors that he's in the game anyway. So I don't know. I really don't. And also the realms are merged because it's Outworld, not Adenia. So how does that happen? Mileena's the rightful heir to Outworld's throne. By default. Again, goofy, old-timey, fucking ruler shit. I hate it. But even so, there are those who distrust Mileena's impulsiveness, and again, they're just emphasizing impulsive. There's no other details to why they dislike her. It's just very one-note characters, just, impulsive woman, heir to throne, by default. And her sister is a nicer person, because of the sibling character. You have one who's nicer than the other in MK. Literally every single time. And she should rule instead. That's going to be their entire characters throughout this entire game. Watch. They whisper that Kitana, with her steadier hand, should replace me as heir to the throne. Fuck off. As Mileena fights for legitimacy, she hides a horrible secret. She is infected with the dread and lethal Tarkat disease. The Tarkat disease. They didn't even try with this one. They took Tarkata and just took one of the A's out. And just because of this fucking name, and it just being a disease which is so dumb, how goofy can you be? Also, I bet they won't even explain how she's infected with it. They won't explain how the disease even works. Because they don't elaborate on anything. They'll just establish it and refuse to elaborate, and then do another retcon, and then forget that the thing they established ever existed. But because it's just called Tarkat, Tarkans aren't going to exist in this time. And if they do, it's going to be with them, being a byproduct of a disease, which is so fucked up compared to MK11 finally giving them some, development, because they're people, not monsters. And here they're going, well, they're just a disease species, if they're a species at all. Do you see why I'm angry now? Do you... I can't fathom anyone possibly defending this. I haven't. I have not seen anyone defend these stories yet. I don't know what they were thinking. I really don't. It's fucking dog shit. It's really unacceptable. And people are like, well, finally the 3D era characters coming back because of leaks. There's a good chunk of 3D era characters, although it's the safest ones, the ones that were already very popular characters. And the only reason they weren't in games was because of NRS's own bias, not because of the characters. And isn't it coincidental how they're finally pushing 3D era characters, at least a little bit, and they're doing it the game where everyone's being retconned? That's funny, isn't it? Just a funny little coincidence, I'm sure. But yeah, we're Affliction found out we will be forced into battle to save her throne. I don't even know what that means exactly. Is she going to get banished, or is she going to have to fight someone? What? Whatever, man. Sub-Zero, and this is the other one that really grinds my gears, guys. Grandmaster Lin Kuei, we're already off to a terrible start, because this ignores Nero, this ignores Sector, this ignores Cyrax, this ignores the Cyber Initiative. Smoke's apparently leaked, but Sector and Cyrax are, like, basically by the same leaker, who's never wrong. They've said that Sector and Cyrax are in the game. Sector and Cyrax, by the end of this game, are going to feel like 3D era characters because they've been gone for over a decade, like the 3D era characters. And they're the Cyber Ninjas. How are they not in every single game? And don't you go in the comments, actually, Triborg, because Triborg's his own character. He doesn't count. So, yeah, I really hate that, because I have been pushing for a long time that the original Lin Kuei Grandmaster, well, not the very original one, but the one by the time of the games, he should be a fully fleshed out character. Because the only reason he's not that is because he's not playable. Because the dude has such a big influence on stuff like mythologies. Because he's the guy who hires Quan Chi to slaughter the Shura Ryu. So shouldn't that be the guy Scorpion's going after rather than Quan Chi? It would be like a revenge movie, and they killed the murderer, right? But not the guy who commissioned it. So it's like, oh yeah, so by the way, the guy, Quan Chi, he can't die because he just reformed because he's an Oni demon. But yeah, they ignore that law. They're very inconsistent about it, though, because Scorpion can apparently just keep reforming, so I don't know. But yeah, as Lin Kuei's Grandmaster, Sub-Zero leads his ancient warrior clan in the defense of Earthrealm from external threats for centuries. It has been their sole task. Also, when they specify like ancient centuries, I have a big concern that we do have the law of like Half-Adenian, so they've been living for ages. Sub-Zero's been the Grandmaster for ages, guys. I don't know. Which, by the way, if you went by that and you went by the original Grandmaster law, the same thing would work because Outworld. Well, it wouldn't work because it's a dumb idea, but like the explanation would work either way. Perform hasn't been for any generations, and Sora sees no point in limiting his clan to preparing for dangers that may never come. Under his leadership, the Lin Kuei will come out of the shadows and fight for his place as one of Earthrealm's great nations. What is this, a fucking Fire Nation? What do you mean? I hate this. I really do. I mean, Sub-Zero's the Grandmaster before the Cyber Initiative stuff. It's already goofy enough, okay, this is DC and fucking Onslaught have done this. But it isn't even quite, this is Bihan now, and he's just going to be this evil guy. And people are like, oh, let it play out. He might get a redemption arc. Redemption arc my ass, because guess what this is going to be? This is going to lead to Scorpion and Sub-Zero fighting. It actually says in this bio. So, you know the whole thing of like, oh, Scorpion and Sub-Zero, they've made peace again for the billionth time. Are we acting like this is still like some groundbreaking thing? They've been allies more than they've been enemies, guys. Now going to become enemies again. Also, revered Lin Kuei warrior. Scorpion. Just doesn't sound right, does it? Like his cherished father, and yeah, they bring on the father in game. Like, if Bihan wins a round, sometimes he'll just say, "Die like my father." Who wrote this? What 13-year-old edgelord did you get to write the dialogue? I do think from like the dialogue I've seen Bihan have, he might be the most pathetic character in the franchise. Had he butchered him, because he's not evil. He was never just an evil guy. If you played mythologies, you know that. But now everyone's got this like fucking Mandela effect spreading. Oh, Bihan was always evil. Like, no, he did bad things, but he was good at heart. Especially if you take the lore that the Liang family was forced into the clan. The parents were killed, so they were just indoctrinated into the clan. And we all know if you desert the Lin Kuei, you're killed. So he doesn't really have a choice. And even if you want to criticize like the action he did, because obviously not good things, thief, assassin, not good. Every Lin Kuei member is that. And yet we act like they're heroic characters, except for Sector and Bihan. We single those out for unjust reasons. I don't know. But Scorpion here is now also joining the Lin Kuei cast because fuck Shiro, you, I guess. Fuck Hanzo, your most iconic character, a character beloved for his iconic backstory. We're ignoring him. And I hate Revenge Man Scorpion, but to get rid of Hanzo altogether is dumb. You know, one thing I would be kind of looking forward to was if there was Hanzo. You know, and it's like, oh, we get to see Hanzo with his family, and Hanzo having a tragic past. That's one thing where you're doing this new timeline, stuff is changing, that would actually work, and it would actually be something that, like, hey, Liu Kang, your new timeline is actually for the better. But no, there's just changes happening for the sake of it. It's so bad. But yeah, Scorpion is dedicated to the Lin Kuei and its defense of Earthrealm. When his father dies, Scorpion was hurt, which I think Bi-Han killed his father, take control of the Lin Kuei. Sound familiar? Yeah, because that's what Sector fucking did. Twice. And there's a lot, there's a lot of cases here where they've just turned characters into other characters. Bi-Han here is just Sector, and it's a take on Sector that I don't even like. Because MK9 Sector, where it's like, oh yeah, Sector likes being an assassin or whatever. He's so cool about it. Which, even if you want to go by that law, which I think is a fair take, if you have the added context that his father's a manipulative bastard. But no, they don't really think about it. They're just like, oh, Sector's so evil, guys. But yeah, no, it's just Bi-Han. Remember in Qui Lang's like MK11 ending where they implied that Sector's the cause for Lin Kuei's corruption? Like, dude, the clan was corrupted before he would have been born. What are you talking about? For he took pride in knowing that his brother Sub-Zero would succeed their fathers and his Grandmaster. Sub-Zero totally didn't kill their dad and become the Grandmaster. I'm sure that won't be a real thing, and everyone's going to be like, oh, no way, I can't believe it, no way, who would have seen that coming? Me. But Sub-Zero's unprecedented moves to cast off the Lin Kuei's traditional duties have frozen Scorpion's views on frozen. If he is, he may one day have to battle his brother for control of the Lin Kuei's legacy, which basically means he will. Grandmaster Scorpion of the Lin Kuei clan. Fuck off. Also, yeah, this is Kuei Yang. If you didn't notice. So yeah, fucking dog shit, because it's not Scorpion, it's Kuei Yang. Now Kenshi, restorer of its family's name. Oh boy. So we got 3 paragraphs here. Oh, once one of ancient Japan's most honored families, the Takashis were decimated in battle. This sounds like samurai lore. History, not lore. You wanna know why? Because he's Japanese, which he wasn't even Japanese originally, by the way. He was made Japanese by NRS, which I don't mind, but now I do, because they have just made him no stereotypical Japanese character ever. Oh, katana, swordsman. Oh, samurai. Oh, like historical family name. Oh, anime reference. Oh, Yakuza clan. Yeah, that's Asian. That's cool. Do you see how generic all these characters feel? Like it can't just be me, right? And surely we universally agree here that none of these backstories are for the better, right? Right? Even Snowblind was somewhat faithful to Kenshi's original lore. Snowblind, and it's Snowblind. Oh man, right. Yeah, they lost everything, including the emblem of the powered, revered sword, Sento. Those who survived joined Bakuho, a predecessor to the Yakuza, for its protection. 5 centuries later, Kenshi is raised on the source of his ancient family's exploits, detesting his corrupt Yakuza life, which at least he doesn't want to be a Yakuza member. I like that at least. But he shouldn't be in that position in the first place. He plans to free the Takahashis from the Yakuza group, as the name, which implies there's more Takahashis still around. Don't know what's going on there. But for his family to follow him, so he has a family. Which I do mention Suchin, actually. And actually, Suchin left him. It's just fucking funny. You pathetic loser, Kenshi. You absolute loser. Kenshi must first fight to prove that he can lead. It was about is the Fire and Retrieve Center, which we know in story is owned by Johnny Cage because reasons, and Johnny beats him. He, with his bare hands, he beats this swordsman Yakuza member. How fun. I don't think I really need to explain why this one's really dumb. It's just not Kenshi, and it's just a very stereotypical Japanese character. So yeah, it sucks. We'll do Johnny next, and you can already tell us the problem here. 21st century action hero. Okay, right. And I thought Johnny was the one character who had faithful lore. So, and because he doesn't, I'm sure not a single character will. Because Johnny, how do you change his lore? It's just movie star in the 90s. But no, he's a TikTok guy now, I guess. Like many stars before, Johnny became addicted to his fame. Oh, how fun. He came to measure his self-worth by his fans' adoration and appraised him on social media. I hate the wording of these, by the way. It's just, it makes everything sound really fucked up. Which it is, but ew. Like fans' adoration. Like, Jesus Christ, I need some more dick sucking, mate. On social media. So yeah, social media, which means we are in the 2020s, surely. Like I assume this game is set in 2023 conveniently, and not the 90s. I thought it would at least be set in the 90s, same time as the NK1, for that callback. Not that there'd be a tournament story, but for the sake of that. But no, which, do you realize how much this fucks up with stuff? By just shifting time scales so that everything's just 2 decades forward for characters. Because these are like their young selves. Like they were just born 20 years later, I guess. Like, what the fuck? What the actual fuck? And some people would probably say, oh, this is nitpicking. Which, no, because this contradicts with so much. Because this means that via Liu Kang's new timeline, and I'm sure this will never be explained, for some reason, all these heroes were born 2 decades later, just by coincidence, by chance. Which I don't get it. You'd think Liu Kang's new timeline, and he goes on about how, oh yeah, freedom, people are freedom. Why is so much different then? Why is so much shit been changed for no particular reason? How does that happen, Mr. Kang? How does that happen? Because I don't get it. I really don't. And I can only tell, I can only imagine, Johnny's going to be even more obnoxious in this game than ever before, because he's a social media star now. It's MK. I want to escape from fucking TikToker stars. God damn. Johnny was already like a really lame character before. Like conceptually, or movie star asshole. Wow, how sung. I've only liked Johnny when he matured in X and 11. And we're not getting that because in order to get another time jump, we'd be going to 2040 for that. Which makes no fucking sense. But again, it just highlights how unsalvageable this time is. And it's not built to last. Because I've already pointed out several things that can't occur in this timeline. The cyber initiative, the the time scales being fucked with, which means comic kids are basically not happening because they're not getting into a time jump. There's also, I mean, I don't know about Frost and Kai, but I feel they're probably just getting ignored regardless of how old they decide to make them. And also Tarkans, that's another one. Also, the realms are just still merged, and I can't seem to get unmerged because I feel like they've just ignored they exist. Could be wrong there. But yeah, but with Star now fading, Johnny's finding an uphill path to remain relevant. L plus ratio plus you fell off. I don't want to tell him he's just going to become Cassie now. Again, we're going back to the fact that these characters are just being changed to other characters. Cassie has way more going on in this, obviously, but like, he's going to become the Zuma character. Which, God, he's already obnoxious enough, guys. He joins the Kang's Earthrealm Champions, hoping that it will provide his career and with fame a desperately needed boost. So it's for selfish goals. I hate that. I hate that. I hate it in Deadly Alliance, so I'm always going to hate it now. Because Deadly Alliance, he joins like Raiden's group. Just like, oh yeah, I got to get some fame. rather than the fact that like like one of his best friends fucking died. Like massive character regression there, you know. And people say, "Oh, I'm biased to the 3-year." Like, no, the 3-year was just generally better. It doesn't mean it's perfect. Had flaws. That was one of them, and it's one that shouldn't be repeated. But look what's happening now. Have fun. And this one really, really gets on my nerves. Youthful warrior with dreams of glory. God, what a shitty title. Anyway, Kung Lao, born and raised in the village of Hengjian, which is where the tea house is. Which, I mean, it's called to get a new location, I guess. I assume it's a fictional village, which it gives me Earthbound Village vibes. Just on that notion alone, I might just name the Earthbound Village from Deception Conquest. Although this is probably a Chinese name, and that's a Japanese village. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine the name actually means anything. It just slapped words together. I don't know. I haven't checked. But anyway, Kung Lao has spent his life toiling in the fields. It's been an honourable life, if not a glorious one. Kung Lao's praise for his life will amount to nothing. He prays for me that he will be called to do something bigger. His prayers are answered when he's asked to champion his earth from. As we're fighting for his honour, Kung Lao knows that his victories will be long remembered. I hate this, and let me tell you why. So Kung Lao's original law was that he just wanted a peaceful life, and I know people thought, oh, they're going back to that old law with how he looks with the straw hat and the fact that he's just working in the fields. You're like, oh, he's got his peaceful life. But nope. He wants, his character mode is the exact opposite of what we were originally at. He now doesn't want a peaceful life. Instead, he wants to be fighting. It's fucking pathetic. And I say this is done intentionally, just lies, but also I feel like they're just ignorant. I don't know at this point. I really don't. But for that reason alone, it's terrible. Kung Lao, I can tell, is already going to like stink up the roster and take another roster slot. Because, I mean, X11 and now this, there's been no justification for Kung Lao being a mainstay. It's pathetic. He was Liu Kang's buddy, and now it's just going to be Raiden's buddy. How fun. Speaking of Raiden, champion of Earthrealm. And I find it absurd because people were saying when he looked at Fire God Liu Kang and looked at his cape, like, oh, finally he's not generic anymore. He feels like his own character. No, he just feels like Raiden with fire powers. And you want to know what Raiden feels like? Liu Kang with lightning powers. Which kind of like copies over because Liu Kang has fire and lightning powers, which to be fair is cool. That's a cool power set. But now that makes Raiden feel redundant. And again, they just swap their characters around. I'm not even fucking reading this one. I'm not even reading this one. He's just going to become like a former champion. This this powerful warrior, and he's fucking immature basically at the moment. It's not Raiden. It is. I don't need to read this. It's not Raiden. Last time I checked, Raiden was the God of Thunder, not a Liu Kang clone. People rag on the fucking video characters for apparently being clones of whatever character they say. And it's never been true, not for a single one. And now here, people will find out what clone characters really are. This is a Liu Kang clone, plain and simple. Speaking of Liu Kang, he is a Raiden clone, just Protective Earthrealm. I'm not reading this one either. Protective Earthrealm. It's not Liu Kang. Liu Kang was a modest monk, not the god who can control the fates of every man. And it does like hint at like some threat that they're still being mysterious about it, which probably shouldn't be doing that because I don't think Onaga's back. So you're just going to disappoint people if you keep doing that. God, I hope Onaga's not back because they will ruin him. They will ruin him. So, yeah, half an hour rant. Hope you enjoyed. I'm so fucking done with this game, man. Actually pathetic. Like, it wows me how low they can go. This will definitely overtake, like, MK9 as my least favorite MK game. I don't need... Like, the full product won't help. It won't help at all, because each time more information is coming about this game, I get more and more worried. What a terrible time to be an MK fan. See you in the next video. Bye.